Squire, attend me.
Ready, sir.
Hey, give me that!
For house free! Oblivion! Get in there and fight, maggot! Leroy Jenkins!
Hello, it is Thursday, April 28th, 2016, and you are listening to episode 64 of The Unstable Portal. I'm Max Totally Futile Burzin, and I'm joined by Martin Dusters Walters and Joe New Mike Marsh.
Oh, God.
Come on, Joe. Let the people hear you.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Let them hear you.
Man, I'm really self-conscious now because...
You shouldn't be. You sound amazing. Like, I'm sure...
Well, just go get your... Go, honey. Turn the washing machine and run the shower in the background, please.
And a Hoover.
Yeah, Hoover.
Then it might feel normal again.
But yeah, you sound so much better, and I'm sure all the ladies out there are swooning over that Irish accent like crazy now. So you shouldn't be self-conscious. You sound great. You sound really good. So thank you so much to everyone that's donated to the Patreon and made this possible. Without you, Joe would still be living his life inside of a washing
And it would
machine.
be slowly getting worse every week.
But it is done. But how are you guys doing? Microphones aside, how are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's been quite a good week. Played quite a bit of Clash Royale. There's now a Cynical Nurse Clash Royale clan. So I've been playing a bit of that. Just kind of waiting for...
Are you getting paid by them or something?
I'm just waiting for Hearthstone
tweeting-
expansion to come out. Like, I've been just waiting. So when it comes out next week, it's going to be pretty good.
Oh, Martin.
What?
It comes out next week. He's so funny, Joe, isn't he? Isn't he funny?
It's like, that's 20 quid.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. I'll make it Hearthstone related. They won't notice a thing. Easy. I didn't realize you
Yes,
started
so the
working.
expansion came out. I was very excited. Do you know the best thing? I saw a few people on Twitter that are sort of complaining. They're going, oh, the servers are melting in America. Oh, this is rubbish. This is what happened in Europe last time. It's so nice. I woke up and went to work. I was on the train at 5 o'clock in the morning, logged onto Hearthstone and go, oh, look, my servers are working so lovely at this time in the morning. Oh. Just opened all my packs on the train. That was a good train ride. It took ages.
And it's so slow on the phone, isn't it? I was
Pardon?
doing that on the bus as well, and I was like, I know pack opening is great and all, but like you literally have to open each one and then move to the next one.
Yeah, and that is annoying on the phone. I was kind of like, I wish I was at home, but also I was like, you're sitting there with like 80. How many did I have? About 80 packs to open, like in my pocket, just sitting there, like, I'm not really doing anything. I just want to open it. All right, I'll open it. Yeah, we'll do it. We're doing
I
it.
just opened the pre-order ones on the bus and then left the rest till I got home.
I was going to do that, but I'd only got one legendary at that point, so I was like,
And me too.
I was like, no, I'm cracking the rest open. I want more legendaries. I
And I only got
require
one, and I thought that was kind of normal. I'd forgotten. Like,
I think it's
the
about
chance
one
that
every
you're supposed to
40
get
or
them.
30.
That's what I thought as well. And then
It's
I was
1 in
talking to somebody
20.
on Twitter.
Is it 1 in
and
20?
I think it was it Ness maybe? I can't remember. On Twitter, and he said like 1 in 20, and I was like, oh, well maybe he's right. And then looked it up, and it's like 5% chance per pack, so it is meant to be 1 in 20.
Yeah, 5% that's 1 in 20, yeah.
Oh dear.
But then I was pissed after that. I was okay before. I was like, okay, I got 1 in 50. That's okay.
I got 3 out of 80, so like I'm missing 1, but it's not that bad.
Well, you're
Sure,
missing.
how many I
You're
have
missing.
now, actually.
I suppose you're missing exactly 1. That makes sense. Well, I got 6 out of 60, so my odds were 10%. So
So basically,
Screw you
stole
guys.
all of our legendaries.
yeah, I got all of your legendaries. I decided that I deserve them more than you do because reasons.
So go on, which ones did you get?
What did I get? Let's. I had this all open a minute ago, but for some reason my my Hearthstone card collector has reset itself.
I got Emperor, Twin Emperors.
Oh yeah, of course you did, because I was watching you play that.
Yes, which is the Sea Thun guys, the 2 guys. The 4/6s were torn. So I was happy when we got, because we were saying that's probably one of the better neutrals. Obviously, it kind of goes into that deck, but if you want to play that deck, it's a very good card for it. I got the Princess Huran, the hunter legendary, which is the 5 mana 6/5 Battlecry, trigger a friendly minion's death rattle effect, which is a pretty cool one. Like 5 mana 6/5 is very good, and you have a Battlecry that does something pretty cool. So I think that's very playable in any kind of mid-range hunter or most hunters probably. In my 5 mana 6/5, as long as it's not too rushy.
It's your pre-high main.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you want to play it after high main, not before high main, though. Really,
I mean, if you have to, drop it.
Hey, I couldn't even remember what the other one that I got was. I got the Muckler, I got the new Muckler, the Tyrant of the Veil, the 6 mana 5/5, add 2 bananas to your hand.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know how good that is. I mean, I don't even think that's awful.
That's terrible.
You
we
reckon?
didn't think
6
it was
mana
good when
5/5?
we didn't think
I
it
mean,
was
I
good
don't think
when we
it's. I
talked
don't
about
think it's
it.
good, but I don't think it's an awful card. Awful is probably.
Well, it's awful
wrong.
in that there's way better. Like,
Yeah,
you just
I mean,
play
there is way
Sylvanas
better.
or,
Yeah.
I don't know, any other 6-drop.
It's an 8 mana 8/8 is what it is, which is a bit meh for a
That's 8 mana
legendary.
7/7.
Sorry.
8 mana 7/7.
Yeah, sorry, 8 mana 7/7, which is a bit meh for a legendary. Yeah, you get to kind of split those bananas up and maybe put them somewhere else, but
Yeah, and also if you have some kind of spell synergy and that kind of thing. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I
I also got Thun, so I guess I did get.
well, that doesn't count. Everyone got him. I got.
Oh
I
my god! I thought it was the only one. I thought I was like, the 1,000th lucky shopper who got it. Oh yeah, they gave it to free for freaks and special.
No,
Yeah,
it's
the
an
podcast
uncollectible
legendary.
card. Everybody got it. We all got it when we logged in on Tuesday or Wednesday. Sorry for us. Tuesday for the Americans. It really slowed down my day on Wednesday because I've been like video editing like crazy. But obviously, I was super excited about the cards and the packs and stuff. So my Wednesday had about a 2-hour delay. So like opened all of my packs, got involved in Twitter, and started getting all the excitement. And I opened all the packs.
Twitter was going on this week. There's so much Twitter going on.
Yeah, it was some good quality conversation going on Twitter. And it was like, I've opened all these packs, and it was like, now I've got to go back to work.
Because we had, this is an interesting conversation that I wanted to bring up. Like Mike on Twitter, he was saying how, I can't remember exactly which ones, but he basically got all class legendary ones. They were good class legendary ones. They were like the druid one that is like your choose one does both effects.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is another good one. It was another good class one. And he was saying it's annoying because you got these class legendaries, which you're like, well, now I kind of have to play this class to use them. I'd have much rather had Dr. Boom of the effect or that kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I suppose I've got a similar effect. I've got the Twin Emperor guy who can only be used. He's neutral, but he's a 7 mana 4/6. He's only useful if he gets his Battlecry off, which is completely tied to Thun. And so if I don't have a Thun deck, then he's not viable. He's just a 7 mana 4/6, which is pretty weak, obviously. But then someone else made the counterpoint that was like, yes, but I would much rather have all the class ones, and then I'll class that one guy because I can use him in all craft. Yeah, sorry, craft like that guy because I can use him in all my different classes decks.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That
Yeah.
like I prefer getting the class ones because like I don't really want to craft a class. Like you're 1600 dust, like just to make that one legendary that you're only going to use with that one deck. Like if you get it in a pack, then brilliant. But you generally want to spend your dust on ones that you're going to have much more use out of, really.
I think you're right. I was really happy when I was like, yeah, that's a good one we want. But then when you said that, I was like, yeah, I wish I got all those really cool class ones because I don't really want to
like
craft
that druid
them.
one. I'm never going to craft that druid one. Like,
Yeah, I know, but you want it, don't you?
I want it. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, because it'd be fun to build a deck. He's I've opened him up now. He's a 4 mana 3/5, and his text says you choose one. Your choose one cards have both effects combined.
I think that's a fairly solid card.
I think that's definitely a good card. I think there could be some decks that will work around this as well. Surely, like that.
Yeah. Like
4 mana 3/5 is like one attack below the curve of a neutral thing, and you're possibly getting. The thing is, it's hard to combo it with the choose one effects. And how many choose one effects have you got?
Well,
but,
there
are some pretty good choose one effects that aren't used because they're both bad on their own. But if you combo it off, it's is a lot better.
There are some really good, like, cheap ones. What is the one that can either be a 2/5 or a 5/2? And it's like, it's only like 2 or 3 mana, and it's like crazy. I'm guessing it's 3 mana.
How does that work? Oh, we need to do some Hearthstone
So
science.
you get a 5/5. I've seen it. You don't need to do science. I've seen it. You get a 5/5 for that.
Oh, that's disappointing. Actually, I want a 7/7.
Really? You thought you could get
Well,
a
a
7/7?
2/5 plus a 5/2 is a 7/7 in my book. I mean, they're just cheating me out of it.
Well, yeah, they are cheating you out of it, because I think what it is it's a 2/2, and it gains. You can either like make it gain +3 health or +3 attack, and you just get both. And like that's only 7 mana to combo those together. I'm assuming it's 3 mana. I don't know if that's a really bad assumption, but I can't remember what expansion was it League of Explorers that came out, or Grand Tournament? I think it was Grand Tournament.
Which one? What the that 2/5/5/2?
Yeah, no,
That's Blackrock Mountain.
Blackrock Mountain. Wow, that was a long time ago.
I'm really sure it's Blackrock.
Yeah, it is. 3 mana 2/2. Choose one, transform into a 5/2 minion or a 2/5 minion.
That's what I mean. It's like transforming into a 2/5 or a 5/2. When I see that as like a choose one, I think, well, I should either get a 7/7 or I should get a 2/5 and a 5/2. I don't know. It's a weird
transform, but I've seen it. It definitely becomes a 5/5. But that's 7 mana, and that's a pretty strong combo. You're putting down a 5/5 and a 3/5 for 7 mana, and then if they can't remove your 3/5, you get to do more stuff with it. I mean, on turn 7, I imagine they'd still probably be able to remove it. But you know, that's a pretty good turn 7. Plus any of the other ones. I think it's a good card. The other card that Mike mentioned was the Priest Legendary.
Oh yeah, the one that makes the 1/1s.
That's the one.
I got that somehow. I can't remember some game I was playing. I got it through like Burgle or something, and it was just sitting in my hand all the time, and I was like, nah, I don't want that as a 1/1. Don't want that as a 1/1.
Yeah, but that's because
you had no deck synergy.
I know, but
it only works if you've got loads of rags and stuff like that, things that you actually want to.
Loads of death rattles.
Yeah. It doesn't work if it's just like.
But nothing really stuck around long enough.
Backstab and eviscerate.
Yeah, but I was thinking about like it in terms of not just my deck, but like other cards at the same time, and it's
probably clunky.
It's
Joe,
really clunky, exactly.
Joe, I have a question for you, because you love the rogue card, the Shadow Caster guy that will just make a 1/1 copy of anything. Obviously, it puts it into your hand, so there is some upside there, which means you can have Battlecry minions with it as well. But I don't know, they still are very similar cards. Why?
Because you get to like Battlecry is huge. Like getting to use it on your SI7 agents, or like making a mini Zarl Poison Mind, like the Rogue Legendary, there's endless possibilities with Shadowcaster, and you can use them when you want. Like you can use it on Bran and make double 1 mana Brans.
I don't want to. You could use it on a new Barak. He'd be a 1/1, but I'm pretty sure when he bounces back to your hand, he'll be back to an 8/4.
Yeah, and you'll still drop the 4/4 when you die.
Yeah,
as well.
and you'll have two. You can even play them both.
Yeah, you wouldn't ever want them both.
It'd be the most overkill that you've ever done. It'd be awesome.
Maybe if your Anubarak got silenced, then you could play it on your Anubarak, so you get a new 1/1.
That's not a bad point, actually.
Which would be insane.
Yeah. I haven't played with it that much yet.
Have you?
Hold on. Anyway, Max, we're going way off a topic on our show notes here.
Are we? Are we really? By the way, for those of you that have, we have had some feedback recently, and over the duration of the show, that the structure of this show is not the best, and I do agree with that, and it is something that I would really like to improve at some point in the future. But unfortunately, at the moment, I am super busy with Overwatch stuff. But today's show notes are testament to our lack of structure.
They've been really good recently. Like they've actually been quite good. I've been fairly impressed at our show notes. But this week, proper phoned it in. It's like, if I hadn't turned up and found the iTunes review, then this would be the sum total of the show notes. Unstable Portal, episode 64. Thursday, April 28th, 2016, episode 64. That's it. Finish. Sorry. Exclamation mark at the end for proper punctuation.
Well, yeah, that's how I know
we've also got
to
an
be...
iTunes review, because the thing is, we did talk about what we're going to talk about this week. There hasn't really been any news. The news is the release of the expansion. And the decks we're going to talk about are what we've talked about in this expansion. So this week is going to be extra rambly. It's always rambly. This is extra rambly. We're just going to ramble on about our experience of the expansion because that's what we're going to do.
Podcast on Monday as well.
Yeah, we did a bonus podcast on Monday, but look, we've only had the expansion for a day, so all we can really do is like what this show is basically going to break down to. We're going to talk about the cards that we've got, and we're then going to have a little chat about the decks that either we've played or maybe we've seen played, or any other stuff that we've noticed in the day or two that this expansion has been available.
Yeah, next week we're going to have a much more solid grip on it because I made 2 decks yesterday. I made a deck today, and I've run like sort of 4 or 5 games with all of them, 15 games or so, which is quite a lot actually in the like day that I've had to play, and I've had a busy couple of days as well. Like next week we're going to have a much better rounded view of like how the expansion is. This is like really the first impressions, like how we first see it, like the first like wow, I didn't realize that card was that good. I don't like read that thing really quickly before I forget the card that I want to mention on that track.
What are you talking about?
I said read the review.
Read the review. Okay, you said read that thing. I was like, what thing? What are we talking about? All right, you keep that in your memory because I know what your memory's like.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
but yes, as Martin segued nicely into our review that we had one review this week from Sweden, and he says it's by Radical Ed. He says one of the best Hearthstone podcasts out there. He says Unstable Portal was the first Hearthstone podcast I listened to, but it has proved itself to also be the best one out there. Great banter and fun to get some WoW lore as a complete noob on the subject.
Always crazy people like that out there.
There are crazy people like that out there. I do feel like I've read that review before.
Now that I've read that, I'm like, I'm
But
sure
why
I
is
had
it-
that one before.
why is it showing up on Sweden?
your review. You've had a double up on your review. You're a lucky guy.
It is. That is rather strange.
I
'cause
swear,
that wasn't,
I swear we had that a couple of weeks ago.
yeah, that wasn't there under Sweden a couple of weeks ago, but
I don't
today
remember
it was. Oh well.
Well,
Anyway.
it's different. The thing is, Joe, like when I read so many things gushing about how amazing, it's difficult to pick one from the other. Everyone, I think I've said this before, but everyone that feels, yeah, that we have read that one before. Look, they just swap them round. They're cheeky like that. Why do they swap them round? This is the problem. One of us buy an Apple product so we can properly keep tabs on this.
I think we just need to put Joe in charge of reviews instead of you, and I think we'll just have a much smoother operation.
Maybe we need to find a better place to find out iTunes reviews.
Probably.
Anyway,
that probably would be a good
thank
idea.
you very much. Thank you very much, Radical Ed.
So yeah, thank you again for your review. But while
Buffing out our show notes by like 80%.
was something that we'd already said before. Anyway, while we're on the subject of people that support us with the reviews, Hearthstone reviews, they do very much help us out. And Hearthstone reviews? iTunes reviews, sorry, they do very much help us out and make more people find our podcast if they are in the market for a Hearthstone.
We don't need to say something clever. Just go put great podcast or good podcast or slightly above average podcast. Your choice. Put one of them on there and give us a review and we'll be eternally grateful. We don't need it to be clever and funny. We love all reviews.
I'll tell you what,
it does
Martin,
help us a lot.
Martin, the day that you can manage to think of something and not immediately say it, we will be happy for people to leave us unwitty reviews. How about that?
I think I know that Millie is my daughter on that regards, because I was sitting in the car coming home, taking the 2 girls home from their swimming lessons today. Sophia was giving me a very long-winded chat about, I don't know, the mysteries of life or something. And Millie goes, Dad. I was like, what? I went, what, dear? She went, wool comes from sheep. Like, good girl. We needed to know that. Keep those thoughts coming. That was it. I was like, you're my daughter. You just say whatever comes into your head.
Dear. All right. So, yes, you leaving us iTunes reviews is really helpful, and it will help people find our podcast that are in the market for a Hearthstone podcast. And then also, I'd like to very much thank everybody from the Patreon. Of course, I mentioned it at the start of the show because we've bought Joe a new microphone, which is absolutely amazing. And that is patreon.com/unstableportal. Yes, sorry, that is right. Patreon.com/unstableportal. I currently still need to get a little more money back from that before the cost of the microphone is covered. But after that, we'll have to start working out what else about the show we can improve with the investment that you guys make. As always, we're happy to take suggestions. If there are things that you think the money could go towards, please just let us know.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll do anything, literally.
No,
We'll
Martin
mess all up
Martin will do anything. I will happily film it and put it on the internet.
The thought that I very, very spectacularly held there
Well
was
done.
that Darkshire Councilman is a good card.
Darkshire Councilman, what does he
3
do?
mana, 1/5. Whenever you summon a minion, gain +1 attack.
Are you basing this opinion on the fact that it was just played against you in a game by a
in that
zoo
zoo
deck?
deck, and it really does. Yeah, but I mean, it is actually.
It did a lot.
It is
did a lot.
pretty nifty. You have to think that you wouldn't be unhappy with a 2/5, and in the zoo deck you've got a lot of 1-drops. So if you're not playing this on turn 3, and even if you are, it's probably not getting killed. If you play this on sort of turn 5, it suddenly is like, well, I'm playing this on turn 5, and I'm also playing out a Flame Imp and a Void Walker, or a couple of other things, and suddenly you got a 3/5 for 3, and that was a pretty nice turn. I think this is going to be a really good card.
It already is a really good. It's broken
Yeah.
card.
It does seem ludicrously strong. It's like if you play an abusive sergeant onto it, it just for that turn it is a 4/5. It's like it's crazy. It's crazy value. It trades up to like everything, and it's got
the thing
5
as
health.
well that it's done a similar thing to the Paladin card that I was just playing. Like where it's whenever you summon a minion, because I think all the ones before were always when you play a minion, whereas now it's when you summon a minion, which is a massive difference because they're differentiated between the two things. Where the Paladin one is the Steward of Darkshire. Whenever you summon a 1 health minion, it give it Divine Shield. Because that works with your hero power on Paladin, which is amazing. This card would be trash if it didn't work on your hero power, but it works on your hero power. So you can always make a 1 health minion. Because most of these things are always like when you play a minion, which is when you actually play a card in your hand, not when something comes from a death rattle or something. Imagine how broken. Oh my god, Steward of Darkshire, when you've got a spider thing that's just a haunted creeper. I've already forgotten. It's gone. It's wild. I don't care anymore. You summon 2/1/1. You do that. You play this. You attack into something. You summon 2/1/1s with Divine Shield. You're like, oh my god! If that card wasn't good enough already.
But if Hobgoblin had been summoned as well, it would have been pretty broken.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that the difference between summon and play is like a huge difference. I'm surprised, they've pushed it that far. I mean, I think the Steward of Darkshire one I understand because of the hero power effect and everything, and I think that's not so strong because you're only giving a 1 health minion Divine Shield. It can be dealt with, kind of thing. Whereas, and if you're putting your deck full of 1 health minions, you've got a fairly weak deck unless you draw that card. Whereas
I think the thing with the new Warlock card, is if we still had all the old super sticky minions that Warlock was using before and that card on top, I think it'd be broken. But I think right now,
oh, you mean
all
Wild?
it's doing,
You mean in Wild?
In Wild, yeah. But I think right now it's a strong card, but it's the card that's going to keep Zoo alive, basically.
Yeah.
And it's just Zoo's going to be kept in check by the fact that it's missing, haunted creepers and stuff like that. Really.
And the Rubian egg and
An egg especially, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still really vulnerable to AoE. The only thing, nobody's running AoE at the moment, really, from what I've seen. But if Zoo ends up being really strong, then decks will start running AoE and it'll balance out.
So what have you been playing, Joe? I want to know what you've been playing. Because I know you played probably the most out of all of us, and I know you are
wait.
ready to hit.
Before we get into what Joe's been playing, let's find out what he opened. We haven't quite gone through all of our cards yet. Like, you're running away with what little structure we have, and you're just taking it, taking it away. Joe,
Max,
what did you
you're
open?
doing my thing. Grab it back off of me. I'll go anywhere.
Joe, what did you open?
I opened 9 legendaries.
Out of how many packs?
Out of 200 packs.
Oh,
I
okay.
hate you so much.
So that's about
One in
right.
25.
You're
You're,
going for 200. That's not fair.
you're slightly under the 5% there, aren't you? You're just one
Well, I had the
legendary
pre-order,
under.
and then the 13 free packs, and then the 80 packs from gold, and then I got another 40 pack from the shop.
Gemming it in. Look, he's gemming it in, man.
he's spending that hard-earned money on card packs. Something that we can also do, by the way, Martin. We can do that too. This isn't.
I just bought.
I guess it, like,
Normally
this
I would do,
expansion-
but I just bought Overwatch, so I don't feel I have the money.
I haven't done that yet.
Oh dear.
But this expansion, I don't know. There's so many good legendaries in this expansion. I just want to make sure I have everything, basically. What did I opened? Yogg-Saron.
Yeah, I want him.
I got a
one-
Yogg-Saron.
Yeah,
Oh
you
wait,
both
Cthulhu's
got him. and
free.
he's
What
got-
am I saying? Oh, so I only got 8 actually. I only got 8 because Cthulhu was free.
Yeah. I got 7 with Cthulhu. I had 7.
I got
6.
Twin Emperor.
Oh, you got Twin
I
Emperors as well.
Also got Mukla. And I got a Boogie Monster.
What's that one do?
It's 8 mana, 6/7. Whenever this attacks and kills a minion, gain +2/+2.
Oh yeah, that's not great.
Oh, not great. I got Shifter Xeris,
Oh, did you?
which
I mean,
is
you're
kind of
gonna-
cool because
And explain what they are, because I certainly, and I guess people at home don't know what they all are yet.
True. Shifter Xeris is the 1 mana 1/1. Each turn this is in your hand, transform it into a random minion.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd never craft him, but
A fun card.
I'm
That's
happy to
Casino
have him
Mage
just
all
to throw him
over
into
it.
a deck. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I'm glad because I got Yogg-Saron as well, and I want to do like Casino Jewels,
Oh
Casino
my God,
Rogue, Casino
Yogg-
Mage. Like
I haven't had as much fun in this game since like before this expansion, and it's all because of Yogg-Saron.
Oh, really? Have you been playing with him a
So
lot?
much fun. Oh my god,
Is he good though?
he's so much fun and he is so good.
Oh, really? I did wonder. 'cause he's one
let
of
me
those
finish
ones.
my cards and then.
Oh, sorry. Go on. Yeah, go on. That's true.
So I got Soggoth the Slitherer, which is the 9 mana 5/9 taunt that can't be targeted by spells.
Have you played him?
Powers. I haven't used him, but other people have used him against me and then tried to heal him and stuff and suddenly realised they can't.
Oh dear. Well,
That
I've,
moment you go, oh, I can't be targeted. I thought that was just the other guy. Why can't I target him?
I've heard people have been playing him in Bolster Warrior. I'm not sure how good that's going to be, but I've heard like he's been showing up in Bolster Warrior. Obviously,
okay.
Bolster is the 2 mana card. Give all of your taunt minions +2/+2.
Could be a thing.
Sorry,
The
carry on.
last one I got was Herald Volazj.
Okay, the
That's the
priest
priest
legendary
one.
that we were talking about before.
The one that you make everything 1/1.
which is going to be a nice amount of dust.
You're definitely going to dust him then.
And I crafted the Rogue legendary, Daryl Poisoned Mind. And he's really broken as well, actually.
Oh, really? Is he actually good? Because we weren't especially sure about him when we went
Which
through
one
the
was it,
cards.
sorry?
It's the 4 mana 3/2 Battle Cry and Death Rattle. Add a random toxin card to your hand. And the
Okay.
toxin cards cost 1 mana and it's deal 2 damage, give a minion stealth, return a minion to your hand, and it costs 2 less the next turn.
How much mana was he? 4?
And give a minion +3 attack.
4 mana or 3 mana?
4 mana.
What did you say?
4 mana 3/2.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it could be good. Do you use that in your Yogg-Saron deck?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 extra spells just for
Yeah,
him.
exactly. Yeah.
And the other thing, you get him. There's a new rogue card, which is I forget the name of it now, but it's 2 mana 2/2. Oh no, it's not that one. It's the Discover a Death Rattle. Sorry, the 1 mana spell,
Yeah.
and you get him from that like all the time, because there isn't that many Death Rattle minions in Rogue, and obviously the Discover is weighted towards class cards. So most of the time he is there to pick up. So you don't even need to craft him. You just need to put 2 of those in your deck and you're going to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. So I played quite a lot of games, actually. I played about 40 games, maybe 35 or 40.
Wow, have you had that much time?
I played till quite late last night.
Also, Joe doesn't have 3 children.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, that helps, definitely.
Oh, sorry. Like just before, when I was sitting there. Like, I got to play a little bit last night. Like I had a bit of a busy night yesterday, but I got to come on a bit later, and I had a bit of time there. Max was a spectator to me, and then played a few games with the new cards that I got, and then I thought, okay, tonight when I come back, I've got to take the kids swimming, but I've got the tablet there, I've got the Wi-Fi connection at the swimming pool while I'm sitting there. I'm going to play some Hearthstone. And then I realised I haven't updated the game on the tablet, and I couldn't. And I was like, no! But to every cloud has a silver lining. I played Clash Royale, and it's
Oh, God. Should we do a Clash Royale podcast, Martin? Would you be happy? I mean, admittedly, me and Joe would have to start playing it, but we could.
It's a
figure that
really
out.
good game. If you look on Twitter, that we've got the cynical. I'll tweet it out at some point if you want. If you play the game and you want to join a group of dribblers on it, then I'll tweet out the cynical clan.
Wow. Will will be very happy that you're pimping
I know he
his
will.
wares.
The Mighty Crush.
The Mighty Crush. Oh dear. Right, where were we before we got derailed by Clash
Joe
Royale
was
again?
talking about his legendaries and decks and his 40 games he got to play.
Oh yeah, 40 games. That was it.
Oh yeah, so I'm still trying to finish Golden Rogue. I've got 11 wins left. I wanted to do that before I switched to other decks. And I've basically just been playing Yogg Rogues. And the first one I did was like a miracle kind of rogue.
I don't think we ever said what Yogg does.
did we
We're
not?
just kind of assuming. I do know, that's why I think we assume.
I mean, I'll read it out. Yogg-Saron is a 10 mana 7/5 battle cry. Cast a random spell for each spell you've cast this game. Brackets targets chosen randomly.
It can be including yourself, can't it?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't actually played any games with him yet, but yeah, I've seen lots of YouTube and Twitch of this guy being played, and yep, it can fireball your own face. The best thing I saw him do was I was watching a Kriparian video on YouTube, and I think he had one card left in his deck when he played this, and when he played Yogg, he got 2 sprints out of it, so he killed himself with fatigue.
That's amazing.
That is one thing actually about playing Yogg. You need to make sure there's cards left in your deck, and you have to make sure you don't have many cards in your hand, because 90% of the time he is going to like draw the rest of your deck and fill your hand with it. Because there's so
Absolutely
many draw
insane.
cards, and it seems to nearly always pick the draw ones for some reason.
Oh, really?
That's just selective,
choice.
like memory, I reckon. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, well, it seems like it does.
It feels like it does. There's probably a balanced sample, but it just feels like that because whenever it does, you're like, I really didn't want that.
Yeah, probably. So that was like a Violet Teacher kind of mid-rangey
Hold on,
Miracle
so the
Rogue
Violet
deck was the
Teacher
one I
trigger
played.
with each Yogg one.
Not as far. No, it doesn't, because I think it's whenever you cast a spell on Violet
Okay,
Teacher, and his don't count.
Yeah,
And then,
he's casting the spells. I think Ben Brode confirmed this. He said Yogg-Saron is casting the spells, not you. So any cards that have any kind of interactions with you casting spells don't work at all.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the one I've played the most was a deck that I made, which is a Renault Thun Yogg deck.
What?
So, yeah, it's got
All
Renault
the
Jackson,
legendaries.
yeah, and Yogg and
Renault
Cthulhu.
Jackson. Oh, and
But
Cthulhu.
it's only just got like just enough of the decent Cthulhu minions, so he never gets like too massive. But like so many different times, you get like Zarel, the Poison Mind, gives you that spell that you can put a minion back into your hand and you can like bounce him around, and there's Vanish in the deck, so you can bounce him back and then playing him again after clearing your opponent's board with Vanish. And I'm doing pretty well now. It's like 67% win rate. It's
Okay.
not great against aggro. I mean, I guess most Renault decks kind of suffer against the super aggro decks if you don't draw Reno.
I mean, have you played any Shaman? Because I've heard a lot of complaints
Yeah,
about
I've played
Shaman
against
everywhere.
some Shaman.
I mean, I've been playing a little bit of Shaman. I haven't had a lot of time, but that's what I was kind of planning on doing.
played against Shaman, and I've played against Base Hunter using Fiery Bat,
Yeah.
and they're still pretty nasty, actually.
What does Fiery Bat do?
It's 1 mana, 2/1 Death Rattle, deal 1 damage to a random enemy.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
But as a rogue, it's like you dagger up and then you hit it and you take 2 damage, and then you take another damage. Yeah, a little bit annoying.
Yeah, this was the card that I thought might possibly replace Leponome in aggressive decks.
It has already, yeah. So yeah, Yogg is just so much fun. Like, I think most of the time, it's ended up working out well for me. Generally, you want your opponent. There's kind of 3 things. Like I said before, you want to not have too many cards in your hand, and you want some cards left in your deck. But you also want some minions on the enemy side of the board. Because if you don't have minions on the enemy side of the board, all the spells that can target a minion are just going to automatically go on your minions, and they're just going to get killed. You're going to wipe out your side of the board, basically.
That's a good point. Yeah. You probably, like, when you play, you kind of don't want to have a board. I mean, are you better off almost trading most of your board away?
Not necessarily, because there is a lot of buffs and stuff as well.
That's true, yeah.
It's just you don't want the spells that can, because there's a lot of spells that can only target your own minions, like buff spells, which are good. And then you want the 50-50 on the damage spells that they're going to go on the enemy rather than on
Yeah. And some damage spells do say enemy minion as well.
You don't really play him when you're behind either. Like, he's really you've kind of lost the game, or it's even, and then you play him and you win or lose at that point. So it's like an extra sort of win condition, I guess.
He can also target himself, I've noticed. a lot of Yogg-Sarons kill themselves when they get played.
If they kill themselves, they stop.
No. Like,
no, he does it all still.
Yeah, as with like all stuff in Hearthstone, like it all plays out instantly. So like as soon as you put him down, so like although obviously you wait for all the animations to happen, but I've seen some interactions where he gets played and then all of a sudden like the 2-mana card in their hand lights up green and it's like, oh, why can I play this? It's like, oh, he's given me an Innovate, and then like 6 spells down the line, an Innovate will pop up. You know, it's that kind of thing.
What about when there's like damage ones, like say the first thing that comes out, I haven't seen any videos of this, so let's say the first thing comes out is a fireball, and it fireballs one of your guys and will kill it. Does it actually kill it, or do all the spells go off first?
No, it kills it.
It kills it, and then it's gone instead. What if it had a death rattle?
It can't be buffed or
Does the death rattle now trigger after that spell?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
I think so. I'm not sure about death
rattle. The death rattle, I would assume the death rattle will trigger after all the spells have cast. Because
after
battle
all of them,
cries,
or after the one that kills it?
After all the spells have cast.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that, actually.
So, but that matters. But I don't expect you to know one day in, but it does matter.
Yeah, it does matter. But what I would expect is for it to trigger after all the spells have cast. But the minion is dead as soon as it's dead. So if any buff spells are cast, it can't be targeted on that minion.
Yeah.
Like, some of the turns are so fun as well. I had one where it casts the new Druid card. What is it? Call of the Wild, 8 mana, and you summon all the
Hunter card.
Beasts. Hunter card, sorry.
Yeah. Cool. I got a Call of the Wild. I was so happy.
So I got a Call of the Wild out of it, and then fills the board with wisps, and then it casts 2 Everything is Awesome from Shaman, which is give all your minions +2/+2. And that's like 7 mana each one of those. So that's like 14 mana worth of cards. And then it casts some Power Word Shields and some other buffs, and like I just ended up with a full board of massive minions.
That's crazy.
On the next turn. It's just so fun.
Yeah,
to try it. I think the other thing as well is Mage is meant to be really good with it. I guess there's like 2 Mage versions. There's one which is just Tempo Mage with Yogg in it, and then there's another one which is basically Stall Mage.
Yeah, sort of like a grinder kind of value mage of just like Kabbalist Tome, I think's in there, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, that's the 5 mana draw 3 cards or something.
Yeah, 5 mana, get 3 random spells from the mage class, so 3 random mage spells. Yeah, so you kind of like just kind of survive and just grind them out, and then just drop Yogg after playing like a ridiculous number of spells and hope you win the game.
Exactly.
I can't believe this card is viable. Like it just seems so crazy. So crazy. We'll see what happens, obviously, because we're just into the expansion, and everybody obviously wants to play with these really cool, fun cards. So while everyone's kind of playing with them and figuring stuff out, like good old random fun decks can do okay. But actually, once we start getting down to them, to the good decks being discovered, and them really getting I can't remember words when I do this podcast. Refined. Thank you so much. With them really getting refined and start.
Thank you for being so nice about it.
But yeah, as soon as they start getting like really refined, are Yogg Saron decks going to still be okay? I mean, what do you think?
But
Joe?
you kind of know. It's like with the expansion where Varian Rin came out, and we all thought he was going to be amazing, and then you play 5 games, and you just knew at that point already that he wasn't really helping you that much. You know what I mean?
But I think that works more for the cards that you think are good or bad. You kind of play them, you go, this wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Whereas the other way around, I think you go, this is really good. But as time goes on, you go, this isn't consistent enough.
But the other thing as well is you don't have to build your deck like around Yogg too much. Like the rogue decks can get a lot of spells. And same with the mage one. You can get a lot of spells that you would have normally anyway in any deck, and a lot of spells that you get from battle cries from minions and things like that. And he just ends up as another win condition in the deck then at that point.
Well, I'll tell you what, actually. We had a tempo mage sent to us from Edge.
I really wanted to have a chance to play that. I actually asked him to send us that.
But I was saying we'll play it this week and we'll talk about it next week, because I haven't had a chance to make hardly any decks or have any play time. So next week I'm going to get into it and do that. But I might throw a Yogg Saron. If I had a Yogg Saron, I'd throw a Yogg Saron into this.
Everybody should just craft him, even if he doesn't end up being in the absolute tier 1 decks.
Not everyone's made of money and opened 200 packs, Joe. We're not all swimming in dust.
Yeah, we are all swimming in dust because Blizzard nerfed a load of really key cards.
I am actually swimming in dust, but not enough dust. Yeah, I probably will do, because I think it will be fun. I agree.
Yeah,
and there weren't enough cards that I was kind of like, I really want that card. And I actually kind of got the ones that I wanted. I wanted the Emperor, then that was about it, really.
Yeah, Twin Emperor is really broken.
Yeah, like Twin...
really, really, really broken.
How about Cthulhu? Let's talk about Cthulhu, like, if we're going to talk about him, because...
Like, Twin Emperor is stronger than Cthulhu.
Have you played the Cthulhu deck?
Well, it's a Reno Thun...
He's got his Reno Thun Saron deck.
No, okay, yeah, but have you not done it on another one?
No, I've only played it in this deck. But I played against a lot of them. I played it in
the Druid one. I made the Druid one out of it. Like... because I just looked at the cards that I had and the ones that worked best and the class cards I got that worked best, and it seemed like the Druid is the way to go. And I've noticed, without looking at Reddit beforehand, I've noticed afterwards a lot of people talking about Druid, because I'm not sure all of the classes that are kind of, it's like the Reno Jackson thing at the beginning, where there was like Mage Reno Jackson, there's Warlock Reno Jackson, all the different ones, and then suddenly like people worked out which one was the best one, and that's the one we're going with. But like, he is so much fun to play though. Still, like, that guy gets up to big pretty quickly, and then when you draw him and you just drop that, oh my god, it's so satisfying.
Yeah, but it takes a while, and the person knows from the start of the game that you're going to be playing him, and so like when you're playing against him, you know that you're going to have to set up to be able to deal with him. Whatever he does come out. So
maybe as time goes on, people will know better what they're going to do. But there's so little you can, like. What do you do when you go, I'm going to set up to deal with the guy that's going to have the 13 damage Avenging Wrath with a 13/13 on the board.
But it's not even that much when you've got a few minions on the board.
I played against
where they dropped like a 20 damage
saying,
one and didn't even finish clearing my board, and then I just killed them basically. And because all their minions are worse.
Kind of Bernie kind of deck. I mean, in the Druid deck it works because the Druid has good value minions, and you get these guys out early, and you've got other minions get even beefier due to Yogg-Saron, like the guy who's gets extra health if you already got Yogg-Saron to 10 attack, which isn't difficult to do at all. And you've got all these kind of walls that are just sort of sitting there that they have to try and get through. I mean, I don't know. I've seen people complaining about it, saying there's too many of them. The reason it's too many is everyone has got one, so everyone's going to make one. Everyone's going to make it.
The thing is, though, like, I think Cthulhu is good. I don't think he's, like, super strong. I think it's just the simple fact that Twin Emperor is so strong, and for Twin Emperor to work, you'd want to throw Cthulhu into the deck.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
it's required, yeah.
Yeah, if you could just proc Cthulhu, can you buff Cthulhu without Cthulhu in the deck with the buff cards? It does say wherever he is.
If you play one, nothing happens. Like, you don't get that weird little animation on the left-hand side.
That
It
was
says wherever
good.
he is.
I
What
was
if he's
really
just in your
happy with that.
collection?
Yeah, he's in my collection. Why is he not getting buffed? How dare he?
Like if you haven't seen it yet, you do actually get a little thing showing you the buff of how big he's gotten every time you play one, which I thought was really overly helpful. I was expecting to have to memorize this, which is quite nice. They're just telling me how big he is. I think that's a reasonable thing to do.
And the deck tracker has one as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, like,
The deck
if
tracker also added a spell counter when you put Yogg in your deck,
Oh, really?
which is
nice.
which is pretty funny because, like, every turn you're like, shall I play him this turn, or do I want the spell counter to go a little bit higher?
But I'd have thought that
Next turn he'll cast 23 spells.
at the same time, I'd have thought I'd have been like, I'm gonna mill myself if I get one more spell off. Now I want to cast Yogg-Saron and play Yogg-Saron. Joe,
You
why
have
do
to.
this
You
thing?
have to. I haven't had as much fun playing a deck.
Well, I've got him.
So good.
I'll make him. I've got dust. I've got 4.5k dust.
The thing is, it's like one of the big things that I've had a lot of people say about this expansion is there's not that many great legendaries, so you might as well spend the dust. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
like there are things like epics and stuff which do cost a little bit as well, but like in general, like there's not that many great legendaries. So like the druid one's something that I want to play with at some point. The hunter one, like you say, it's all right. I don't think it's ever going to be required in a deck. It might be okay if you're like building Death Rattle Hunter. But you still don't necessarily need it if you're playing Death Rattle Hunter. It's still just a nice thing to have. The mage one we still haven't worked out. I actually opened the mage one, Anomalous, which is the 8 mana 8/6 Death Rattle, deal 8 damage to all minions. It just feels unnecessary. I think we spoke about this on Monday, didn't we?
Yeah.
Where we just feel like I haven't seen this card played yet, and I have not played with it yet, and I wouldn't even know where to start building a deck that would include this card. It's
just a high amount of mana to not. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting effect, and it's a huge amount of damage.
Yeah, like 8 damage to the entire board is crazy. It's like it is. I guess it's a catch-up mechanic. That
I can see him being played at some point in some
Like-
kind of deck.
if you play him, and it is an interesting board clear because it's a board clear that is going to. I suppose it depends how your opponent deals with it. If your opponent doesn't deal with it on their turn, you then get to have a board clear with full mana. So it gains you tempo, but surely you just learn to play around that by always, even if it means losing your whole board, if you're playing against this card, you just trade all of your stuff into it, let it death rattle, and then play some new stuff down. So, I don't know, I feel like
Oh, is it Death Rattle? Is it?
can be played around. Yeah, it's death rattle.
That's. I think that's exactly what happened last time, actually, where it was like I thought it was Battle Cry, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, and then it was Death Rattle, and then suddenly it's not so cool.
Yeah, like it's like if it was Battle Cry, it's like obviously that's amazing if it's Battle Cry, because it's pretty much going to kill everything. So essentially, it's an 8 mana Twisting Nether, like with an 8/6 body attached to it, which is actually quite good. But as a Death Rattle, it's just like it's like they've dropped. What's that Abomination card called? Is it just called Abomination? The 5 mana 4/4 Death Rattle, deal 2 damage to all characters. I think it's just called Abomination or something along those lines. Anyway, It's kind of like that. It's like, okay, well, I'll just like trade my stuff into it, and then I'll just play new stuff onto the board, and your stuff's doing 2 damage to everything on your side of the board as well. So essentially, it's kind of like just giving me a free board to start playing my minions onto, and I kind of just feel like you're just doing that for your opponent with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with it. But I've got one, so if it turns out that he's quite good, then I can put one into him. Ragnaros the Light Lord. I suppose he might be a decent legendary to have if you're playing a control paladin of some kind. Yeah, Ragnaros the Light Lord is an 8 mana 8/8. At the end of your turn, restore 8 health to a damage friendly character. I think
I quite like him on the control paladin thing. I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the upsides of this, I don't know if we talked about when we talked about him on the show when we did our card reviews, is he will only target damaged characters. So he won't pop an 8 health heal onto something that's already on full health. So this is actually a controllable heal to a certain extent if you want it to be, or if you can set up the situation so that it is.
Most of the time it will be.
Yeah, which is quite good. We've already talked about the priest one a little bit. Joe's a bit meh about it. I mean, I'm not sure either. I mean, I am with Martin. I think if you build a deck around it, it could be quite good. If you build like Death Rattle or just minions that have effects on them kind of deck, and you can drop this guy, you might be able to get some value out of it. But I don't know. I don't ever see you being able to get it on multiple creatures that have value, which is what you'd really want to do with this.
Yeah, and if priest is stuck 2 to 3 creatures that aren't being removed, they've kind of won at that point.
Yeah, so maybe a bit more of a win more kind of card. You've talked about the rogue one a little bit, which you're saying is broken. So that's like one decent legendary
That's an
so
essential
far.
craft if you're playing rogue.
Okay.
That'll just go in every deck.
We said the hunter one, didn't we?
Yeah, we said it's not necessarily essential, but it's definitely. I'm not saying it's a bad card. It's definitely. It's definitely a playable card. But
Which one?
the hunter one, Princess Huhuran. The 5 mana 6/5 beast battle cry trigger a friendly minion's death rattle effect, it's a cool card, and I think it's definitely playable. So what do we get up to? Rogue. The shaman one is possibly that's the one that heals. So it's the Halzeal of the Ascended 5 mana 4/6. Whenever your spells deal damage, restore that much health to your hero. Have you guys seen anybody play this guy yet?
No, I got him from Burgle or something.
Oh, did you? It's quite good in your rogue deck, I imagine.
Why do you keep on getting minions from Burgles? I thought Burgle only.
Or maybe it's not Burgle. I'm not sure what was giving it to me.
No, Burgle's. No, Burgle's class cards.
Okay, it's class card. Okay.
Oh, it is from Burgle then.
Yeah. Oh, no, it
and
is from
Undercity Huckster as well. Because I have Burgle and Undercity Huckster in the deck.
Well, your deck's all about the fun.
Yeah. Oh, it's so much fun.
That is quite cool. I mean, like this is a card that would be really good for a more controlly shaman, but what we were talking about on Monday is it feels very much like aggro shaman is going to be very, very strong. So this guy might not necessarily see a lot of play, but we'll have to wait and see. The Warlock one, Cho'Gall, we did not think much of him when we were reviewing him. He's the 7 mana 7/7 battle cry. The next spell
as well. That was the other class card he got.
I haven't seen anybody use him yet.
Yeah,
What was it he did?
Battle cry. The next spell you cast this turn costs health instead of mana.
Yeah. Actually, I think he could be interesting down the line.
Well, he's one of the ones that some of our lovely listeners have come back to us and said that they thought that they disagreed with us when we were poo-pooing this card.
I mean, I do think that the point we made isn't that it's a bad card. I think that is if they had a load of good high cost cards that you're going to put in, I think that's a really good card.
High cost
because
spell.
You always
kill
want to play
yourself very
health
quickly.
over mana every time, but they have loads of really good low cost cards where it's kind of like, you're not getting the full effect out of it. You're not getting the payoff for the poor body.
Problem is, like, by turn 7 or whenever you want to use them and you've been tapping a while and some of your minions have done damage to you, you really want to cast a big spell with him and take another massive chunk of life?
Nah, probably not.
Because the problem is the big spells they have as well are things like Doom and Twisting Nether, and he's kind of like, well, that's not really. I don't want to pay that and then pay life and then lose everything. It doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, what's the point? I might as well wait till the next turn to play Twisting Nether. I'm probably going to take 8 damage anyway by waiting a turn, so whatever. Why have this card taking up a space in the deck? But yeah, I think he's a bit meh. We'll see what happens, because there are some people that disagree with us, but we'll see what happens with him. But let's just for now, for argument's sake, 7.
Yeah, if it's a bit low, 7's a lot. You've already invested a lot of mana into that turn by doing that to get him, and he's not got a good body for it.
Yeah, you're saying you'd be much better off with the same effect as a 5 mana 5/5 would be a lot more impressive.
That'd be really cool. Because the other thing is, you want to use him as a tempo swing. The later the game gets, the harder that is. If you can play him on turn 4 or 5 and cast a free spell, then that would be really good.
Playing him turn 7 is like, I get to play a free spell and kill your stuff, but I've still only got a 4/4. That's like not the best. Like, that's not. He's going to play something that's like, he's going to play his 8/8 and you're going to be like,
well, like the best card that it has synergy with is Siphon Soul. But I kind of feel like that's the only good card that it has really decent synergy with.
Yeah, I mean, Siphon Soul is the best one.
But it's like, so the only time you'd ever want to play this guy is if you had Siphon Soul in hand. Obviously, you could still play him for a tempo turn 7 play if you had to, but I don't think he's that great. All right, so the Warrior one we thought was quite good. He's the Malkorok 7 mana 6/5 Battlecry. Equip a random weapon.
Oh, which class is this?
Warrior.
Yeah.
With the loss of Deathspite, I think Joe was saying with the loss of Deathspite, we kind of feel like this is this could be worth having. So out of the class cards, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I suppose 5 of 8's actually 5 of 9. So it's not too bad. Like 5 of them are pretty good. But obviously you'll only be crafting them if you want the decks. And then like of the neutrals, so like Twin Emps is good, and we've come to the conclusion that Yogg Saron is good. And at the moment, Cthulhu is good. But the rest of them are just a little bit meh. Do you know what I mean? Like
Enzoth is really good.
Yeah, I opened Enzoth. I was just about to bring him up. I opened Enzoth the Corruptor. And I'm very much going to be trying to build some kind of Death Rattle deck with him in it. Maybe Death Rattle Rogue. Have you seen anybody playing him yet, Joe?
Yeah, and Death Rattle Rogue is really strong.
Okay, that might be the first deck that I build. I sadly, I just haven't had time to play. At the moment, I wake up, I edit videos. I have a small amount of time to relax in the evening away from the computer because I've been staring at it for about 10 hours at that point. And then I sleep. And then I wake up and do the same thing all over again. At some point next week, I should have some time to play, though. I think I'm probably going to go for Death Rattle because this Inzoth guy, he sounds pretty cool. He is the 10 mana 5/7 Battlecry. Summon your Death Rattle minions that died this game.
You're right, though. There isn't much that you need to craft unless you're playing a Cthulhu deck. Then you need to craft Twin Emperor.
That's as of
that's
now,
it, really.
I'd say. Like there's a lot of things. I don't even feel that on other expansions, people have fully worked out exactly what was good the day it came out. Or maybe if they did work out what was good, it wasn't refined enough. And maybe sometimes some of these legendaries are a little bit more, are going to be a bit more niche. Because none of them were particularly exciting when we first saw them. None of them were going, oh wow, this guy's amazing. None of them
because
were.
They weren't.
Well, yeah, I mean, the ones that were are the ones that we talked about, the ones like Citan and Yogg Saron, because they did something amazing.
No, but it's almost in previous expansions.
But we want something in your face like Reno Jackson. We're like, well, that's really cool. It's like something so different. Like, we only want the ones that do something so different. And I kind of think that's how legendaries should be. They shouldn't just be like this really strong, powerful minion. They should do something that's so different that they require something very niche to happen around them to make it work. I think that's how legendaries work best, especially when you only get one of them in your deck. Not just like, oh, well, that's like a really powerful minion that I'm just going to put in there. Your powerful minions should be your rares and your epics, not your legendaries. Your legendaries should do the most awesome things. And I kind of feel that's how they've put their design.
There should be a super build around. Like epics are build arounds, but even better
these
because
are
there's only one in your deck.
And they are. That's what Citan is. That's what Yogg-Saron is. That's what they're doing. They're making them sort of almost super build rounds. Even the Druid one, you need to have a decent number of choose one cards in there, and it lets you put more choose one cards in there that you'd probably put in there because of the effect that it has. Like whether it's a good card or not, or whether it can be played or not, is another question. But that's kind of maybe where Legendary should go, because just being a really strong minion that you put in every single deck is not an interesting thing. It doesn't make for a solid play experience, probably.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. But I guess it's kind of a hard thing to do as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know it's not easy, but they seem to be taking steps in that direction. Just making these cool legendaries. Like Reno Jackson was the first one that really stood out, and you went, "Wow, didn't see that coming." That's amazing.
And Elise as well.
Yeah, and Elise. Yeah, no, that's fair enough,
there is a lot of hate for Elise at the moment because fatigue decks are the plague of everything. But
yeah,
but
it's
Elise also was a cool, interesting card that did something very different.
And we've got the same thing here with these old gods. They've done the same thing. You've got the other ones, and the other ones are almost the other legendaries. That's why they're so meta. They're almost redos of other legendaries, and they're still like good, but they're very niche, and it's fine. It's like it's fine every legendary being like the old Mukla, like the original Mukla, the 5/5 3 mana give your opponent the bananas, because like that was like, when are you ever going to play that? And then there came a point where you're like, we're going to put these in these aggro decks because it's actually quite hard to deal with. But, there's a bit of a trade-off and it's not unbalanced and it's fine. And you did it and it's fine. And it's an interesting card and it gets played a bit. That's kind of what you should have from your legendaries. I don't want a legendary I see every single game. I want it to be the core focus of the deck rather than... we're just going to stick Sylvanas in there again.
Yeah, but there's also a thing where, for example, Loatheb, where Loatheb is a really good deck card to help balance against combo.
He was also a 5 mana 5/5. That's why
without having two of them in people's decks, because then it unbalances it in the other direction. So I think things like him and Black Knight. I think legendaries like that are good because it limits to only being allowed to have one in your deck, and it's a strong, effect to counter.
Definitely, and Harrison Jones as well.
Yeah, Harrison. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, he definitely fits into that thing. All right, well that doesn't explain Nat the Darkfisher, which is another one of the legendaries that I opened. He's a 2 mana 2/4. At the start of your turn, your opponent. At the start of your opponent's turn, they have a 50% chance to draw an extra card.
You have to play that in Casino Mage when you play.
Do I? Damn.
Yeah, you've got to do it. Random effects.
Anything with random effects has to go in. I do actually still have original Nat as well.
I was going to say, you got to put them both. You got original one, you got to have them both in there.
I opened him in a brawl pack a couple of weeks ago.
Can we have to make a video. It may take us forever. We'll make a video where you have both the Nat Pagels out and it only draws cards for the other guy constantly.
Yeah, probably.
It's going to take us all day, but we're going to do it.
It happens every time.
Yeah. And then the Nat that draws for you is 100% of the time it doesn't happen. That'll just be the way.
So why is this legendary in the game?
I don't know. I take it you haven't seen anyone
that's a
play
fun
it
one.
yet.
Like, I get that they've done a lot of fun cards and they're keeping the legendary rare, the ratings the same across the board as the cards that they're coming across. Like Mukla, like Hogger, it's the same deal.
I guess like Nat is there just because he's supposed to be the corrupted like core character of Warcraft. I think like you say, yeah, he's just there because it's a bit of fun thematically. Because as a card, he makes absolutely no sense. Because it's like that is a pretty big downside for one stat.
Imagine if it was at the start of your opponent's turn, they have a 50% chance to not draw a card.
Oh my god. I would play that. Oh my god.
But yeah, well, you might have to reduce
fun
it.
you're having, mate. You're not having it anymore. No fun for you.
The
No,
anti-fun
what
meta.
it should be is a 50% chance at the start of your opponent's turn, you catch their card and you draw it instead. And he like just slings this fishing
that'd
hook
be
out as it's
amazing.
coming out of the thing and whips it into your hand. And you're like, yeah, my
Oh
card.
my god! Imagine a priest playing that.
So good.
God. No.
That's so mean. It's absolutely crazy. Have I opened anything else? Anything else?
You got
worth
Shifter. Did
talking
you get
about?
Shifter Xeris as well?
No, I didn't get Shifter Xeris, but I kind of would want Shifter Xeris for the casino matchup.
I think I'm going to try
like-
him in my Reno deck, actually.
Oh, really?
I don't think he's good in any way, but I just want to put him in it and see what happens, basically. See if he's good. Maybe nobody's tested him and he's got like a higher chance to turn into legendaries than other cards or something. Or, I don't know.
It would be quite
Need to
cool if
test
he
him and
did.
see.
It would be quite interesting if he had like that. He was weighted towards legendaries, then epics, then rares, and then common was like the least likely thing he was going to turn into. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Stick him in your deck and find out. You'll have to report back to us next week and let us know.
Yep.
But overall, how are your feelings towards the expansion after a day and a half?
Best one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
this is pretty cool.
I mean,
I've
love it.
certainly been way more excited and had way more fun with this than I have. And do you know why? Sorry, to finish that with the grand tournament. And I think the main reason is because it's such a massive shake-up. Because it's not just adding a few cards. If I went and played Wild now, I'd be like, this is kind of okay, I suppose. I'm going to make a few Season decks and I'll play against some Patron Warrior and whatever. If it's not, it's like completely different. Everything's changed. Everything's gone. If you look, something that I wondered how they were going to do, which I think they've actually done very nicely. If you look at your collection, I don't know if you've noticed, Max, I was worried, like, I'm going to make all these new decks, and are they going to stay at the bottom of the list? Because I'm making all these new standard decks. Are they going to be underneath, the default wild decks that I made first? But if in the collection, you can see the standard decks have the normal board around it, and the wild decks have this kind of tree branch growing across the top of them. And the wild ones are pushed to the bottom automatically, and this works in the play bit as well, which I think is quite a nice touch, so I don't have to go scrolling through looking for all my current decks.
I deleted everything.
Did you?
Fresh start.
I've only got a couple of slots left now. I'm going to have to start deleting stuff soon.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to Joe's way. I'm just going to clear out all my decks and just start again. Because it's like none of my wild decks.
No Shih Tzu, Max. No Shih Tzu.
Make a new
yeah.
Shih Tzu.
Shih Tzu's now a wild deck. Oh my god. Yeah, can't play Shih Tzu in standard. It's got Dr. Boom in it. It's got Sludge Belchers in it. It's got Loatheb, Piloted Shredder, Mechanical Yeti. Oh, of course, it's a mech deck. It started life as a mech deck. Of course, it can't be played in standard. I forgot about that. Yeah,
Definitely out then.
Shih Tzu is definitely there. Right. Well, I think that is all the time we have for tonight.
Okay.
Well, this is just supposed to be a quick review of everything that we've been through. We haven't really had enough time to form any kind of
We'll have
strong
something
opinions
solid
on anything.
next week.
Yes, we will have a solid show with structure and all that good stuff.
Wow, the first one ever. That's going to be pretty cool. He's
What-
putting
what-
that together.
What happened to all that stuff at the top of the show where you were impressed at how much work I've been putting into the show notes and everything? Hey, what
I'm being
happened to that?
polite. I'm not being polite anymore.
Oh, I see. But yeah, we will of course be back next Thursday with a much more structured show. We may even have some decks to talk about. I imagine we will do. If you want to email us and let us know what you've been playing, any deck lists or anything interesting that you've seen that you'd like us to talk about, please send them in to us. You can at unstableportalshow@gmail.com, or you can send them to us on Twitter. You can either send it to me, Martin, or Joe. I'm at Totally Futile. Joe's at Marsh_Joe, and Martin is at Dustus Wins. And you can find all the stuff that I've been spending all of my time working on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/c/cynical nerds.
You wouldn't believe the love he's getting for that. So much love. Overwatch is going mad for Max at the minute.
Yeah, the Overwatch nerds are loving us, which is great, which is really good. So thank you to anybody.
If you're planning, sorry, go on.
I was going to say thank you to anybody of you that are listening that have been feeding back on those Overwatch videos. It is greatly appreciated, everything that you've been saying.
And if you're planning on buying Overwatch and playing Overwatch, I strongly recommend you go watch them. And this isn't even just... It's like, I love it. I sit there. I am a fan. Sitting there going, I'm rubbish at this game. I want to watch the next guide. Oh my god, the next one's here. Fantastic. Oh, it's not actually here. I get to watch it beforehand.
Yeah, you get to watch it before everybody else. In fact, as soon as we stop recording, I'm going to publish Bastion, who is sat there waiting to get published.
Publish it before I've watched it. I want to watch it first. I want to feel special.
All right. Well, you can do that. You've derailed completely where I was with the outro, so I'm just going to say good night, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Got to click in the right place, and then... I was watching a Kibler video, and he was playing a Yogg deck, and his Yogg shadow stepped his Yogg. So he got to play it again.
That's amazing.
He got to play it again for 8 mana. Craziness.